What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back today, and we are going to be doing an MLB video today. We will be doing our power rankings as of yesterday, Sunday, the 29th. All standings are updated to today, going into the first week of September and 5 weeks to play. And Ethan will start it off here, and you can talk about the Baltimore Orioles.
All right, coming in at 32, we got the Baltimore Orioles. Their last ranking was 29th, but they've gone on a slide lately, going 2-8 in their last 10. We know they're in a rebuild. We're getting excited for Adley Rutschman's debut, hopefully coming this month sometime. We'll see how he can play, but Orioles got a little bit of prospects in their farm system, so they're looking to rebuild the next few years and maybe make a run in the next few years here.
So next we have the Diamondbacks. The only good thing I can say about them is the pitcher that came in his first career start and threw a no-hitter.
And Ketel Marte.
Cool and Ketel Marte. That's pretty much all they got left.
Yep.
The Diamondbacks are going to struggle for the rest of this year, and they'll be lucky if they get around 55 wins. They're definitely going to go over the 100-loss mark. But there's not really much to be said about this team. They're definitely rebuilding for years to come.
All right. The 30th team, or the 27th. There we go. Where are we at? We're here.
We're on this
Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers coming in at 28th. Not much to be said. Nothing's going on with them either. Adolis Garcia, he's having a decent year. They're coming in at 45 and 85, 3-7 in their last 10. They're not really competing much in that division, and I'm looking at probably about 60 wins for them as well this year. Not much to say about the Rangers, man.
Pirates, they won on a walk-off home run yesterday. That's probably been the only light. I mean, they're 6-4 though, so they've been playing some decent baseball as of late. But their record, obviously, they're way out of contention. They just stayed the same here in 27th. There's not really much to be said about the Pirates either.
26th. Let's get through these bad teams so we can get to the fun teams. Washington Nationals. They didn't really help their chances much while trading away Trey Turner and Max Scherzer they did get some prospects back though. We're excited for Kyvert Ruiz, that catcher from the Dodgers.
And Josiah Gray, he's been pitching good.
Josiah Gray, he's been pitching good. Juan Soto's having a great year. No one's talking about him, but he's having another great year. They lost. They're going 4-6 in their last 10, so not too bad, but not much going for the Nationals this year. They're really just looking forward to next year. Their prospects.
25th, you got Miami Marlins. This is a super young team. They traded away Marte to get even more prospects. They got Luzardo, they just got Luzardo. That's it.
Yeah, they just got Luzardo back.
I think that's a great trade for Miami. He's young. He's a pitcher, throws it hard, and he's been doing pretty good as of late with Miami. And they got Jazz Chisholm. So they got a good young core here in Miami. Great rotation with Trevor Rogers as well, potential rookie of the year.
Great young rotation.
So
Pablo Lopez is coming back soon too.
Right.
Not bad. They're a tier above the rest of those teams, I think.
Sixto isn't even pitching this year, so that rotation could be really good next year. And if they make a little splash in free agency, they could be pretty decent next year.
Chicago Cubs, they made a lot of deals at the deadline to make their prospects better coming into the next few years, which really helped them because I didn't think their farm system was any good. Now they got a couple of guys coming back, and Nick Madrigal, he's young. That was a good deal for Craig Kimbrell because Craig Kimbrell's getting older, and he's kind of sucking for the Sox right now. Man.
Yeah, right now, even though Madrigal hasn't played, technically I'd say the Cubs have won the trade.
Kimbrell hasn't done anything. But yeah, the Cubs, they got some guys in their lineup. They got Patrick Wisdom's look good. Rafael Ortega's look good. If I'm missing anybody else, I'm sorry. I just don't watch the Cubs. So
yeah, I mean, as a Cubs fan, I don't even know half of the team. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rizzo might re-sign. Who knows? He's really dedicated to the Cubs. So who knows there? But 23rd, we have the Minnesota Twins.
Yep. So the Minnesota Twins, they've been winning. Before this last week, they were playing really good baseball. beating the Sox. I know they won a series against the White Sox, and then another good team coming in. I think the Rays actually. That was last week. They're 4-6 the last week. Finally winning some games a little bit, but they're stuck at 23rd because they're still 57 and 73 behind all these better teams. Like half the league over here is above 500, which is kind of cool for baseball.
Then you got the Royals who've been hot. Salvi Perez is having one of his best years of his career. But obviously that's not going to get talked about because they're not in the hunt for the playoffs or anything. But this is a team that has a good young rotation that could be coming up in September and upcoming years. They just need to add some more hitting pieces because it's not really a well-hitting team. All they have is really Salvi in the lineup that I know of. But this Royals team with the rotation and bullpen, that's pretty good. So it's kind of like a team you don't want to play at the end of the year if you're trying to get in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Salvi hit 4 home runs in a row, like four games in a row with a home run.
Yeah,
and he hit 2
like
back-to-back grand slams too. He's having a great year. All right, next ranking at 21st, we got the Colorado Rockies. They've been winning some games lately, going 6-4. And I'm surprised at their record. They're only 60 and 70, which I mean, if a run here, they can get to 500, closer, to play around 500. So Trevor Story, not trading Trevor Story away was stupid, in my opinion. They needed some prospects, and they didn't get it. And they're in a rebuild, but they are playing good baseball, so give credit where credit's due. CJ Cron's having a great year. But that's about it with the Rockies.
This team, yikes. That's all I can say is Javi Baez just giving thumbs down to the home crowd.
It's looking bad.
I guess there's too much pressure on the Mets, and they're choking here, and it's just not been good for the Mets here. They're obviously 3-7 in the last 10, and the deadline for Javi, and obviously they just made the splash just for him, and I don't think they made any other moves, but it really hasn't panned out that well. And the Mets are slowly getting back to the old sucky Mets. So that's why we have the Detroit Tigers at 19.
Yeah, we got them at 19. They're 62 and 69, 4-6 in their last 10, but you can really tell the potential from the Tigers. I could see they have a great farm system right now, and looking to see those prospects play this month, and next year hopefully they'll be in the race for the AL Central.
Yeah, I mean, there's potential. There's lots of buzz going around that Correa's coming to Detroit to play with Hinch again. And earlier report that came out this week that said that Springer, if the Tigers would have offered around as much money that the Blue Jays offered, he would have hands down easily went to Detroit just to play with Hinch.
AJ Hinch. Yeah.
So obviously that says a lot about Hinch as a manager and how good he is. So obviously that's something to take note as well. Like they can make a huge splash in free agency. They have a low budget. Miggy is like the only guy that's over, I think, $6 million a year right now. So they can obviously sign a few guys for a lot of money if they'd like. But yeah, congrats to Miggy on the 500 home runs, and he's still chasing 3,000 this year. So hopefully that happens either this year or early next year.
All right, for the Los Angeles Angels, we got them staying right at 18. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Mike Trout. If he comes back, they could slide up in the power rankings, but you could pretty much say that they're not making the playoffs. They're below 500 right now, and the AL wildcard races are getting pretty stacked. So it's not looking like the playoffs this year, but they have a bright future with the MVP, and then coming with Mike Trout, Rendon. That lineup's solid.
You got the Cleveland Guardians next year, coming in at 17. They've been playing some good baseball as of late. 500, exactly 500. They could make a push for that wild card. They could get Bieber back soon. That's obviously huge because he's a top 5 pitcher in the league, and he can obviously win you some games when you need it in September. He has that postseason experience, so he'll be more than ready to come back and fire some shutout games. But the real question is hitting wise, like, are they going to be able to produce? I mean, they have a good lineup already, but it's more of, can they stay consistent?
Right. Ooh, the St. Louis Cardinals. They've been 5-5 in their last 10. A few weeks ago, they got hot a few weeks ago. They cooled off a little bit this week. They're 66-63, a little bit over 500. They could make a push for the Reds in that wild card, but they don't really have a shot at the division. Neither of the teams have a shot at the division. Brewers have that easily, and their offense just isn't. Jack Flaherty being hurt, I don't see any push coming over this month, especially with their ace going down.
You want to talk about your Phillies too? Bryce?
Yeah, we got the MVP, Bryce Harper. Been having a great year so far, but he's not winning the MVP. But anyway, we got the Phillies ranked at 15th. So they're 66-64. They just won 3 out of 4 against the Diamondbacks, I believe, but after coming off a sweep against the Rays, so not a great week. Yeah, their pitching is just, their bullpen has not been great, and their offense has been inconsistent lately. They still have a shot at the NL East just because I think the Braves look way better, but they have a shot just because the record difference right now. So hopefully they can get some help and some inconsistencies will go away and they'll make a push here in September.
So here, I don't know why it's not loading for me. At 14th, we have the Padres, who make a drastic change as they drop 5 spots here. They've went 2-8 in their last 10. I don't know. You would think this team would just be really good with all the stars on the team, but none of them are producing right now, except I don't even know, honestly. Probably Adam Frazier, because he's consistent. He puts ball in play.
Adam Frazier has not been playing good, not been playing well against them, or ever since he got traded. We'll look at his stats in some other video and see how's it going. But I saw he wasn't hitting very well.
But this Padres team, you never know. Like, they still could make a push. They're 2 games back for the wild card, 1.5, something like that.
Right.
But with all the talent on this team, like in September, they could easily go like 20-10 or something and easily get in the playoffs. But as of right now, you don't know what's going to happen. So we made them fall a little bit. But at 13th, we got the Blue Jays, and they just came off a series win against Detroit. And they've been 5-5, 68-61. This is a team that could make a run for a wild card, but I don't know. It's just kind of hard to tell because the AL is so competitive this year. And they're 4th in their own division, which is crazy, being 7 games over 500. Like, if you would put them in the Tigers division, this team would be up there with the White Sox, give them a run for their money. But unfortunately, they're in the toughest division in the AL, so that's why they're so low.
Right. Yep. Yeah, especially with Springer coming back too, they have a chance, but it's not looking great right now. Next, we got the Mariners. They're also in that wild card push. I know none of us saw that coming. They've looked really well. Kelnick needs to get heat up a little bit. He's not looked like that top rookie like Mike Trout or whatever they said, but yeah, they're ranked 12th. We got them at 12, 5-5 in their last 10, and they're looking to get a good September push. I think they could do it in the AL West. Reds.
So we got Cincinnati here. Nick Castellanos, he's been great as of late. Let's see who else. Votto, he was on a tear in July.
Jonathan India.
India, potential rookie of the year.
Yeah.
This team just, I don't know how they're doing it, honestly, if I'm being honest. I mean, Mike Moustakas has had a bad year. Like, he's been hurt for pretty much half the year, 3/4 of the year. And the rotation is just, I guess, been staying afloat. There's no really clear-cut ace on this team. Luis Castillo had a rough 2-3 months, but he's really put together and put back to what his normal self is. But this Reds team just finds ways to win, and that's why right now they are the second wild card in the NL.
Now for the top 10, we got the Oakland A's coming off a series split with the previous 13 games in a row Yankees. They just won 2 straight against the Yankees, which really kind of saved their week, because if you were looking at it, they would have been 2-8 and probably out of the top 10, but They started winning some games the last couple days after losing 6 straight, and they've looked a little bit better. They got to get that offense to be more consistent if they're going to look to try to make it on a wild card, especially with all those AL East teams.
And I think
But
Starling Marte was, in my opinion, the best move at the deadline. This dude has been tearing it up. I think he's stolen like 15 bases in a month already.
yeah,
I mean, he's insane right now. And
he's
especially
going to
with
be.
Ramon Laureano hurt. I can't remember if he's out for the year, just out for extended time.
He was the PED, so he's done.
Oh, that's
for
right,
the
the
year.
suspended.
Yeah.
So he's done for the year, but I think he may be able to return to the postseason if they make it. I'm not sure on that. But if he comes back, obviously that'd be a huge boost to that outfield with just Marte kind of keeping the outfield afloat. Like if they did not get Marte, I think this team would be around 500 in my opinion.
We got the Braves at 9. They've been winning a lot of games lately. That offense has looked great. The pitching's been coming around. If they had Acuna, man, they'd be going crazy. But 70-59, they finally started winning games like they're supposed to, and it looks like the clear-cut favorite here in the NL East now. They just look that good. Their deadline moves were crazy. Getting Jorge Soler, he looked great. Adam Duvall's looked good. Albies, Austin Riley's having a great year. Yeah, that team, that offense is loaded.
It's a team that you wouldn't like. They're kind of all previous stars like Duvall, Peterson, Soler. Like they all had good years in their past, and then all of a sudden they get to the Braves, and then all of them are starting to rake again and be what their future or their past selves were. So this team really has all put it together, and obviously Max Fried has been pretty much a potential Cy Young candidate as well as of late.
He's been lights out lately.
This team could be a scary team in the postseason just because, I mean, obviously their record right now does not show how good they are because when Acuna went down, they had a little dip because they didn't know how to react. But if Acuna's still on this team, I would say maybe at least 5 more wins for this team. And really, they'd be already pretty much won the division.
Yeah. Coming in number 8, we got the Boston Red Sox. We all know about the lineup, but the pitching with Chris Sale's gotten better, but the bullpen's not looked great. They've been on a little slide as of late, but winning 6 out of their last 10 this past week has been what saved them. And what are they like? Do they hold the second wild card spot right now?
I think Oakland does.
Okay, yeah,
Oakland. I think Oakland has 2, and then Boston has 1, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I can look it up.
Well, who's got the? What about the Yankees then? They're probably. I think the Yankees.
Or no, I think Oakland's out then, and then.
So Boston must be the second one.
Yeah, let me look. It says. Oakland's out. They're 2.5 back from Boston, and then the Yankees have the first one, and they're 2 ahead of Boston.
So it's looking good for the Red Sox right now. I don't think the Athletics are as good, so they should be looking at a wild card game against the Yankees, especially because the Rays have that division, man. It's amazing. All right, let's get into our 7th ranked team. We got the White Sox. Rodon just came back. He looked a little bit. He looked decent. We got they were 5-5 in their last 10, losing a series they won the series against the Blue Jays. And then I believe they won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. So not bad. Not a bad week. Still under 500 against teams that are above 500. So they got to pick that up. And it's a good time to do it with the Red Sox coming to town here in the next week. I'm excited. I think if their bullpen holds up, they'll be fine. Their offenses look great too. So
you got the NL Central pretty much winners already. With the Brewers, they're 5-5, staying afloat, playing some average baseball right now. Nothing really spectacular happening in Milwaukee. Not much to talk about with Milwaukee. They're still playing baseball, doing their thing. But
they're the NL version of the Rays.
Yeah, clear-cut favorite for the NL Central, unless they go 2-8 in their last 10, like 3 times. So if they win 10 or less in September, which I highly doubt they will. This team pretty much has the division already won.
Now for our top 5, we got the Houston Astros. They've won 7 out of their last 10. Yuli Gurriel's having an MVP type season, if you ask me. Really leading that offense along with Altuve. Yordan Alvarez, if you've looked at his stats lately, they're crazy. He's finally becoming that guy that everyone thought he would, and it's really helping the Astros offense.
At 4, we have the red hot New York Yankees. You said what? They won 13 in a row?
They won 13 in a row, yeah.
And then they lost 2. Obviously, they split with the A's here for this weekend series. They're finally playing what everyone thought they would be like this year. Those first 4 or 5 months, they really were just kind of a little under 500, kind of staying afloat, like not making too much. And then the deadline pretty much helped them out, getting Rizzo and Gallo, and then Stanton finally can play in the outfield again. This team has been red hot, and if I'm a team right now, I would not want to play the Yankees.
No, you would not. All right, for our number 3 team, we got the San Francisco Giants. They dipped off from first to third, but that's just because they got swept by the Braves, I believe, and also just because the next 2 teams are phenomenal. Giants are having a great year. Didn't think they would be this good at the beginning of the year, but they just keep on winning baseball games, and they're looking at they got a really good chance to get over 100 wins this year and really be good. All right, we got Tampa Bay Rays.
With this team right here, Tampa Bay, 9-1 in their last 10. Something that nobody's talking about because it's Tampa. Like no one's really giving the hype to Tampa because everyone knows like they're good. But still, it's like something you need to talk about. They're in the toughest division with New York being red hot now, Boston in that wild card, and then Toronto still a few games over 500. Something that isn't mentioned is I think Tampa this year is 18-1 against Baltimore, and obviously Baltimore is the worst team in the league, and obviously you need to win those games to be this good.
Yeah.
And they didn't really miss the mark on that, only losing 1 game.
That's
and
crazy.
I think they still have a series or 2 against them, so that'll be beneficial to the record and get a bigger lead on the Yankees, who are starting to creep up there. And from number 1,
big surprise, we got the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is the best team on paper, and they have 3 less losses than the Giants, but obviously they're the best team on paper. They won 7 out of their last 10, and they're slowly gaining ground on the Giants. I think they're going to end up winning this division. I mean, they got Kershaw coming back soon, maybe even Trevor Bauer. Probably not Trevor Bauer this year, but I mean, look at their rotation.
Probably be ready for the playoffs. They'll probably
and they got the Cy Young, most likely Cy Young and Walker Buehler, and then Julio Urias is having a great year.
Something also noting is that this number 1 team is in the wild card right now. It's insane that how competitive the NL West is right now. Obviously, the Padres have fell off a little bit, but right now the Dodgers are 11.5 games up on the first wild card. So pretty much they punch their ticket no matter who wins the division and who comes in second, Dodgers or Giants. Both these teams have punched their ticket into the postseason. It's it's probably like a 99.9% chance that that'll happen. But it'll be some good baseball to watch down the stretch. As I think they play each other one or 2 more times in a series.
Right, it's going to be entertaining for sure.
So those series for sure will decide who wins the division. But Ethan, I think it's time to wrap it up.
All right, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video and if you want us to talk about more MLB, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Bench Buddies are out.